Why is this such a good fit? Why were you so interested in Grand Marnier?
Well, this is our 25th and actually the largest acquisition. It fits perfectly in our acquisition framework. It brings a iconic, unique brand with high marginality, high cash generation, whose geographic footprint overlaps perfectly with our own distribution network. So it's very synergistic from a sales standpoint. And this is a iconic must-have brand in all of the key bars in the world, and enables us to become an even stronger player in the area of classic cocktails. So in addition to the Negronis with Campari, the Aperol Spritzes, the Old Fashions with Wild Turkey, the Mai Tais with Appleton, we'll be able to provide now with our consumers with also margaritas as well as cosmopolitans.
You're making me thirsty. More than half of its sales, of course, come from the United States. Are you going to change the geographic spread?
We think in the first initial years we'll probably leverage the current geographic skew and then expand the brand internationally.
I've got to ask you about this villa in the south of France, which many of our readers are interested about. It's quite a pricey villa. It's in Saint-Jean-Cap-Ferrat. It's called Villa Les Cèdres. Now, you're trying to sell it. This is possibly in one of the most expensive areas in the entire world. How much is this villa worth? How soon do you want to sell it? And why do you want to sell it? Why don't you keep it as a corporate headquarters?
Well, calling it a villa is an understatement. It is an impressive mansion in the most exclusive enclave of the south of France. It has a huge park attached to it. It has a lot of value. The family shareholders believe it has a very, very important value. So the agreement we've reached with them is that it will be sold, and any of the proceeds exceeding from a net after tax and after real estate transaction standpoint 80 million euros will then be paid out to existing shareholders.
I gather it's not as easy to sell property in that area as it was. Many of the Russians who boosted prices are, of course, fled because of the troubles in the Russian economy. What sort of price are you expecting for it? How soon might you get a sale?
You know, it is very difficult to benchmark. I mean, there aren't many comp bases here. Transactions of this type happen maybe once a year or once every 2 years, but that's okay. We're very patient, and I would be very happy to keep it for a while. But I think in the mid to long term, we'll definitely find a buyer because it is a very, very unique and aspirational property.
What's next when it comes to M&A? As you said, this is your biggest ever deal. You were highly acquisitive in the first 7 years of your tenure as CEO. You've had a bit of a lull in the last 2 years. Are you going to sit on your hands from now, or is there more deal-making to be had?
Well, first of all, we have to wait till this transaction closes, hopefully by the end of June of this year. Then we'll have to integrate the brand into our international distribution network and start leveraging our marketing know-how. It's a very cash-generative brand, so I think within probably 18 to 24 months, we'll be back in acquisitive mood.
Robert, I've got to ask you a quick question on the upcoming referendum, which I'm sure you'll be aware about, that's taking place in the UK in June. Will the UK leave the EU? Just from the outset, do you want the UK to stay in the European Union?
Well, definitely, I think it would make a lot of sense. And I think the best thing they can do is really enjoy a few Negronis and appreciate what Europe has to offer.
Robert, really quickly, what's your favorite cocktail, in a word?
It is the Boulevardier, which is the same as a Negroni, but you replace the gin with Wild Turkey bourbon.